these days, but he was a man born in Germany, and by the time he was in his 20s, he had already written his greatest hit song, although he didn't know it. It was a song called The Ballad of Mickey Messer, and it was for the Three-Penny Opera. And about 30 years later, Bobby Darin got hold of it and turned it into Mac the Knife. Well, you're not going to hear that one tonight. He left Europe in the 1930s. He said, you know, I can't put the Communist Manifesto to music. And he wanted to get out of pre-war Germany, and he came to the United States and started writing about American themes. And the song I'm going to sing is from a musical called Knickerbocker Holiday. It's a story that revolves around Peter Stuyvesant at the founding of New York. And it was actually sung by Walter Houston, who was the father of the director John Huston, the father of Angelica Houston, who we still see today in films. So this is sung by a very old man, and I find myself getting closer and closer to being the right age for this. So this is probably the song that he was best known for before Mac the Knife. When I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I let the old world take a couple of whirls while I plied her with tears instead of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. But it's a long, long while from May to September, and the days grow short when you reach September, and I have lost one tooth, and I walk a little lame, and I haven't got time for the waiting game, for the days dwindle down as they grow few. September, November, and these few golden days I'd spend with you. These golden days I'd spend with you. When you meet with the young men early in spring, they court you in song and rhyme. They woo you with words and as clover ring. But if you examine the goods they bring, they have little to offer but the songs they sing, and a plentiful waste of time of day, a plentiful waste of time, and it's a long, long while from May to September, December, where the clover for Broadway. And last year I had the chance to be in a production locally of Guys and Dolls, which is probably his best known show. Right now, we still have Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter himself, performing on Broadway in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, which is another one of his. But before those, his very first musical was written, it was a version of Charlie's Aunt, a musical version called Where's Charlie? And it was kind of languishing off on the road until one night Ray Bolger, who was playing the lead role in it, this is about 1948, decided that he would take some liberties with the big number that he had at the beginning of the second act. So this is a song that Lesser wrote with the Amy of the play in mind, but I'm sure that today he would be actually thinking of Amy Clutho, our own Amy Clutho. How about that, Amy? Oh, I got you. I got you.
Brian!
Yes.
Are you going to sing to me?
Yes, I am. I caught you, sir, having a look at her as she went strolling by. Now didn't your heart go a boom, ba boom, ba boom, and didn't you sigh a sigh? I warn you, sir, don't start to dream of her. Just bid those thoughts be gone, or it'll be boom, a boom, a boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. From then on, for once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever fascinated by her, set your heart afire, stay. For once you're kissed by Amy, tear up your list, it's Amy. Ply her with bonbons, poetry and flowers, moon a million hours away. You may be just a fickle-hearted rover, so carefree and bold, who loves a girl and later thinks it's over, and just quits cold. But once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever, sweetly, oh romancer, trouble is the answer will be that Amy'd rather stay in love with me. Boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. Oh, I'm so happy, I think all of you should come and sing with me. Ready? And once in love with Amy, once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever fascinated by her, ever and ever fascinated by her. Set your heart on fire to stay, fire to stay. Once you're kissed by Amy, once you're kissed by Amy, tear up your list, it's Amy, tear up your list, it's Amy. Ply her with bonbons, ply her with bonbons, poetry and flowers, moon a million hours away. Now it's my turn. You may be just a fickle-hearted rover, so carefree and bold, who loves a girl and later thinks it's over, and just quits cold. Join me, but once in love with Amy, always in love with Amy, ever and ever, sweetly, oh romancer, trouble is the answer will be that Amy'd rather stay in love with